morning, everyone. I'm Tanya from the product marketing team here at Web and today we'll continue our discussion on personalization. So, in the previous webinar, we covered how to incorporate personalization in your marketing campaigns, be it on your email as a channel or web push or push notification and so on as channels. But today we're going to dive into how you can incorporate personalization into your website so that you are delivering personalized experiences on your website to the users that land on your website. Now, before I begin with this webinar, I encourage you to input your questions in the comment section at any time that you feel that you have questions or queries that you need to be addressed. I will be picking up these questions immediately once we finish with this presentation. Perfect. So, getting started with web personalization, I'll guide you on what is web personalization, why you need to be using it, and how is it that you can incorporate web personalization as a part of your marketing strategy using WebEngage as your platform. Let's get started. So, to address the question of why web personalization is important, think of it as you are sending your marketing campaigns, you're personalizing the content within the marketing campaigns that you're sending out, be it email or push notifications or web push. But when a user lands on your website, the user feels the experience that you're giving to that user, be it a user who is interested in beauty products or a user who's interested in skincare products, the experience that a user gets when they land on your website is primarily the same, which ideally should not be the case. Your website is your most important asset that the users interact with, and all your marketing campaigns, all your marketing efforts leads to the same landing page, which is your website. Therefore, it is very important that you make sure that you're personalizing the content according to your users' needs and interest as soon as they land on your website. Getting started with not just personalizing content, what web personalization also helps you with is that it helps you increase your revenue by up to 15%. Product recommendations can also help you uplift your sales by 112%, and you can increase your user engagement and retention by 2x. As we go along this webinar, I'll tell you exactly how you can use web personalization to strategize your personalization on your website. Now, web personalization is not a concept that is entirely new to a lot of us out there. You may have experienced it in the form of Netflix giving you recommendations on based on shows that you've watched, based on shows that you've put in your watch list. So brands like Netflix and Amazon do web personalization on a day-to-day basis, and these are some things that we just go with the flow. You don't even notice that it's happening, but then these are the points that are most engaging for your user or for your end customer that is browsing your website. Similarly, Amazon, if you go into Amazon, you can see that Amazon has or creates different user experiences based on whether you're a Prime member or you're a non-Prime member. So this is just one example of what Amazon does with the web personalization. While they have multiple different exercises for personalization that they do on their website. This is just one example that they nudge your regular users with a banner, nudging them to become a Prime member, versus what they send to their Prime members is deals or offers that are exclusively for Prime members, and this is the difference in the banner that they show on their website. Coming on to how you can leverage web personalization on your WebEngage dashboard, I've broken this down with 3 P's of personalization that you need to be doing to implement web personalization on your dashboard. The first is profiling, the second is positioning, and the third is performance. We'll go into each one of these one by one and then also take you to the live demo version, show you how all of this is implemented by helping you create a test campaign on the WebEngage dashboard. So, getting started with the first P, which is profiling. It's very, very important for you to understand that whatever you're going to be showing to your audience, be it on your website or on your engagement channels such as email, it's highly important for you to profile your audience and to create a segment of users who fall into a specific action, specific set of events, and bucket them together to make sure that the message that you're sending out can be customized or can be relevant to that set of audience. So in web personalization on your web engage dashboard, you can use profiling by creating live segments. You can choose from a set of already created live segments that you have on your dashboard, or you can also create live segments. What you can use to create these live segments is user attributes, custom events, and technology. With user attributes, you have first name, location, gender, etc. With custom events, you have anything that you might have on your web engage dashboard already existing, such as product added to cart, product purchase, product viewed, and so on. With technology, you might have more information on the browser, the app ID, and so on. Using these, you can create a live segment and have your web personalization campaign shown to only that set of users. Coming to the second P, which is positioning. Now, with positioning, you can personalize your dashboard elements from various options that you have available. You can do this personalization in a hero banner. It could be any block of text on your website. It could be any banner on your website which contains both text and image. And you can also customize these layouts as per your website theme. So we have a lot of options open to you within web personalization, which wherein you can incorporate your web personalization campaign. And not just that, you can have custom code to make it seem just like a part of your website. The third P is performance. Now, while you're doing the profiling and the positioning, what's very, very important at the end of the day is to measure the performance or success, or the metrics that you're able to track that will help you define success of your personalization web personalization campaigns. And at the end of the day, they'll help you understand what worked, what did not work, where is it that you need to put more focus on, and where is it that you need to segment your audience better or create a better targeting or a messaging strategy. Now, within performance on the Web Engage dashboard, I will give you an overview in just a minute on the live demo. But what you can also track is impressions, the clicks, the conversions, the engagement trends, and you can also track your impressions by device. Correct. So now we've been through the three P's of personalization that you need to do in order to implement a web personalization campaign on your dashboard, which is profiling, positioning, and performance. Now we'll take these three P's of personalization and look at the Web Engage dashboard as to how you can go ahead and create it. I will now switch to the live demo. Perfect. So now we're in the dashboard environment. I've come under web personalization to inline content. I'll quickly help you understand what you can see at a glance is the campaigns that you've created. You also have an overview section, which I'll go through in just a minute. I'll just quickly simply click on plus icon here and create a very simple text campaign to help you understand the process you'll go through once you start creating your campaign. So once you click on the plus icon, you're given an option to select a banner or a custom code. If you go for the banner, you can simply put in or upload an image, and you can have that image shown on your or as a part of your website. Whereas for custom code, you would need to put in some HTML code and then personalize that content within the custom code that you're mentioning. I'll first quickly go over to banner and show you how the layout would look like. So once you click on banner, this is the page that you leave. This is the page where you come to, where you sort of understand your audience. At this point, it's also important to understand that you can assign your campaigns tags. What it helps you do is it helps you identify the different kinds of campaigns you're running, and it also helps you with the overview wherein you can see your data or your performance on the basis of tags. Now we've selected the layout as banner. Now, to show your audience, you can either select all users or you can go and select any of the live segments you've created. However, if you wish to create a new live segment, you can simply click on the plus icon here and create a new segment. Go ahead by naming your segment. From the user behavior and technology, you have the full option to choose what audience you want to target. Within users, you have a bunch of options from geo filtering to user attributes that you can select. From behavioral, again, you can, based on your custom events, you can select whichever custom event user action that you want to target. And going to technology, you can go into particulars and say what was the app ID, or what was the model, what was the brand, and you can then further segment your audience. For now, I'm going to keep it to all users and just show you what the when and where part looks like. So when you come to when and where, you get into a select property, property placement, and pages to show. Now, property would be any property on your website that you would want to have this web personalization campaign shown on. Now, in this dashboard, we have certain properties already created, such as hero banner or the footer, wherein you would want to show your personalization campaigns. You also have the option of property placement. There are three options within the property placement that you can select from. Either you replace the property, you add after the property, or you add before the property. So, whatever personalization banner you're going to be showing either will replace the entire property of the website that you've selected here, would either add your banner after the property that you've selected here, would or would add the property before the or would add the banner before the property that you've selected. For example, if I've selected my hero banner here and if I select replace the property, so on your website your hero banner will get replaced by the web personalization banner that you'll be updating here. Now you also have the option of when to show. So you can pick from a start date, which can also be customized, and you can pick a later date as well. You can also specify the end date. We would recommend that you never keep your end date till never and somehow assign a end date for this campaign. You can also schedule it to be shown during specific days and hours as per your preference. Once you're done, you land onto the messaging part, which is where you need to put in your banner, and wherein you need to decide as to what you're gonna show to the user based on the audience that you've selected. The basic thing that you can do right now here is upload the image. What you can also do is, if you want to have this image shown on the basis of certain custom event that the user took, you can simply click on this icon here and you can select from your custom event. For example, if I want to replace a banner in my website and show it and show the latest product that the user added to cart, I'll quickly click here. I'll go to my custom events and I'll go to add it to cart. Over here, I'll click on image because this is what I want to show instead of the property on my website, and I want to replace it with the added to cart event that was done. Now, what you can also do is either use the same image on mobile or upload a specific mobile specific image here. You can also put your on-click action here, or alternatively, since I've selected added to cart, I'll quickly go to added to cart, and then I can go into the page URL. So it will redirect users to the same product that you've added to cart, that the same page they'll be redirected to. You have other options to change the appearance of your banner here. And if you want to add some custom HTML or CSS on top of the banner that you've updated, can also be done at this point. Once you do that, you can set up your conversion tracking, and then at the end, you preview and launch your campaign. Coming back, I'll quickly do a review of what the custom code also looks like. So once you click on the plus icon and you click on the custom code, you land on a very similar page that you did with the banner. You assign your campaign a name, you give it a tag, you understand that your layout is a custom code, and you pick up your audience. I'm just going to quickly go ahead and show you the when and where. Now, the when and where over here on custom code has changed slightly from what it was in the banner. What's happening here is that again, you need to select your property like before, or you can create a property here as well. I'll walk you through how you can create a property. You can also do a property placement, which is replace the property, add after, or add before. And you can also select all pages or specific pages. Within specific pages, you have the option to say that the page is equals to, let's say you want to show on your product, on your category page. So you can specify that here. Else, if you want to show it on all pages, you click here. Again, once you're done with picking on when to show your campaigns, you can quickly click save and continue, and you will reach the message part. Over here, instead of the image upload option that was appearing in your banner, in your banner option, what happens in the custom code is that you need to put in your custom code here to be able to show it to the users. And the conversion tracking and preview and launch remains the same. So this is a overview of your list of campaigns that you've created. It gives you the layout, the type, the status, the start date, impressions, clicks, conversions, and revenue, and also the property. If you quickly come to the overview, you can see how your campaigns are performing. You can understand how many users have been engaged with your campaign, the total impressions, the total clicks, and the total revenue. What you can also do is wherein the tag kicks in is based on the tags that you've selected, you can see the campaign performance at a glance, which is why it's very important for you to assign tags to the web personalization campaigns that you're creating. Not just to be able to segment your audience or not just to be able to view your campaign statistics better, but also view the tag performance at a glance. What you can also do at this point is split by channels or by tags, and you can get a view of how your campaigns have been performing. Over here you can either choose to view your unique impressions or unique clicks or unique conversions or revenue, as and how you want to see your data. If you scroll below, you can also see the engagement trends that your campaign that your overview of all the web personalization campaigns are performing. You can see it by the day of the week, um, the opens, the clicks, and the conversions. You can also see by device type the impressions and the clicks that you're getting on your campaigns. So, this is an overview of how you can view your campaign performance at large. And you can, of course, go in here and see all your unique impressions. You can also schedule a report to get a daily report or a weekly or a bi weekly report of how your campaigns are performing. Now, I'll quickly go over to the presentation and we'll go through some use cases that you can do using web personalization. We have the first use case, which is name personalization. Now, this is very common and something that you can quickly, very quickly implement on your website. What name personalization helps you with is that it makes your users feel more welcome, feel more warm, and feel that you recognize who your users are, and you know who your users are, you know what their interests and likes are, and therefore you can go ahead with personalizing the kind of content they would like to see on your website. The second use case that you can implement is location based. You can customize your banners and you can show your banners to, let's say, a specific user who's sitting in a location equals Mumbai or a location equals Delhi, and you can change the messaging within these two locations. What a good use of location could also be that if you want to show that you ship to a particular location, that can also be done. Or for example, for an OTA platform, it's if you're running specific offers or discounts for a specific location, then you can also use web personalization to show an inline banner communicating that you have flight discounts, or you have discounts on hotel bookings for a specific location. The third use case is gender based. Now, you can also dissect your audience and say that if you have launched a collection, a summer wear collection, and you only want to, and you want to show a different banner to women versus a different banner to men, that can also be a great example of personalizing the experience that the user has on your platform. For example, if I am visiting a platform which is Mintra would want me to view any offers or any discounts they're running, or any new collection they've launched for women, which would essentially pique my interest and lead to more engagement on that banner. At this point, I'll take a short break from the use cases. I'll go into the live demo and I'll help you understand how we can implement these three use cases that we discussed. Perfect. So the first use case was the name personalization, the second one was the location. What I've done here is I also have this demo website set up. Now we'll be viewing all the web personalization campaigns we'll be creating on this demo website. I'll quickly help you understand what I've done with the name and the location personalization. You can see that the banner here says welcome to our store. Now, let's say if I'm on the contacts page and I want my users to be able to see this. So I've set up this location test. What I've done here is I've made it, I've selected my audience who reside in India. Once you click on save and continue, it'll ask you where do you want to show the property. I've selected my property to be this, and then I went ahead with mentioning that the specific page has to be on the contacts page. Once you do that, you go on to the message part. Once you go into the message part, I've just created a very simple custom HTML which says hello, username, which you can pick from here, the icon that you have here, and pick your user attribute first name. I've also added a default value in case the name is missing. And I've added some text like we now ship to the user's country, which is also using the personalization that we have here. Once you do that, I'll show you how it performs on your website. So the text changes from welcome to our store. So now the text says welcome to our store. This changes to hello Tanya, we now ship to India, which is what we created here. Hello user first name, we now ship to your country. So if a user is in India, the user will be able to see we now ship to India. Versus, let's say, if a user is outside of India, you can have a fallback value for that user. Or if the user is in US and you want to communicate a similar message but replace India with US, that can also be done using the custom code here. Now that we've covered the first name and the location use case, I want to go into the third use case, which is your gender banner. Again, I've already created a sample test here, but I'll walk you through the steps that you need to implement. The first is you need to select your audience. Over here, what you can do is you can select your audience or create a segment of your audience saying that the gender is female. Once you go here, you can select your property placement. If you want to replace the property, add it before the property or add it after the property. You can also show the pages that you would want to show this campaign on, and select when you want this campaign to show. So for my gender banner, I'll just quickly come back to the demo website that we have here. I'll go into categories, and now you can see that I have several categories here. See that the invest in skincare changes to skincare for women. Now, why did this happen is because of the campaign that I've set here, which I'm going to be walking you through. What I did here for gender is in my messaging, I just simply created an if and else condition. Now, my if and else condition looks something like this. If the gender is female, then show skincare for women, which you were able to see for me. Since I am browsing this website and I'm logged in, it showed me skincare for women instead of invest in skincare, which was previously shown. If the gender is male, it would show the message skincare for men. And if in any other condition, if for example, if the gender is not mentioned, you can have a fallback value, which is invest in skincare, which was previously shown. So this is how you implement your first name, your location, and your gender-based web personalization campaigns. At this point, I would want to come back to the presentation and cover the rest of the use cases that we have. And then again, we'll come to the live demo to understand how these use cases can be implemented. Perfect. So the fourth use case that we have is cart abandonment. It's a very important use case that you must be showing your users on your platform is remind them of the products that they've added to cart and nudge those users to purchase those products. And once we switch to the live demo, I'll show you exactly how you can go ahead and create that. The fifth use case that you have is if you want to run a loyalty or a membership specific banner or a web personalization campaign, that can also be done. Now, what you do in a loyalty or a membership is very similar to the example that I showed you for Amazon, which is Amazon creating different banners for a Prime member versus a non-Prime member. It's a very important technique that you can use if you have a loyalty or membership in your place for your brand to be able to segregate your audience and nudge an audience towards a specific action that you want to take. For example, if I'm an e commerce brand and if I have a membership program and if I've classified my members into gold versus non gold, so, to my gold members, I would want to show them more offers or offers specific to gold members that they can start using and make purchase on my platform. Versus to non gold members, I would want to show something on the lines of this is what you're missing out if you're not a gold member. So, nudging those users to get a gold membership immediately. The sixth and the last use case that we have, which is very, very powerful, is recommendation. Now, let's say the user has put some products in their cart. You can also have a web personalization campaign running, which will see the products that have been added to cart, and basis that provide a recommendation on your website on the pages of your choosing and give a recommendation of the products that you would recommend if the product that was added to cart was, let's say, a bag. Then you can also have this recommendation show different kinds of bag the users might be interested in. Now, recommendation is really, really powerful. It not just helps you increase your engagement, since the behavior is so closely related to what a user has done on your platform. Recommendation usually helps you get more engagement, more conversions, and more revenue. Now we'll go over to the live demo and see how these use cases can be implemented, starting with the abandoned cart. I've already created and set up a test for abandoned cart, but I'll quickly walk you through what's been done here. So I've selected my audience, I've named my campaign, and for now I've selected my audience to be all users since this is a demo version. What I would do if I was targeting my abandoned cart was to create a live segment of users who have added a product to cart but did not go ahead with the purchase and use that as my audience here. Once you go to where and when, you select the property that you would want to show to. I'll quickly go over to the live demo website and show you what property I've selected here. So if you come onto the catalog page, let's say I want to show the product that was in my abandoned cart on my catalog page. You can see that the offer of the day changed to products in your cart, which it also changed to what the product in my cart was and what the price of that product was. I'll quickly refresh and show you again. Let's say your offer of the day is the static banner that you're showing to everybody. But for anybody who's added the product to cart, they will see this view of left hand side with the image and on the right hand side the details. Now, how I was able to achieve that is how I've set this campaign up. I've selected my property, which was this property here on the website. And I also specified the specific page that it needs to be shown, which was my collections or my catalog page. Once you go ahead, mm, once you go ahead and click on message, I just created a very simple custom uh, HTML which says that if added to cart, again, now you can see here we have defined the custom event added to cart. So this custom event added to cart came from this personalization icon here under um, under custom events added to cart. What you can also do, what I've also done here is apart from showing the image, I've also shown you the title, which is here. Now this will fetch the title of the product that was added to cart and will put it here, which is your matte lipstick. Once you're done, you can similarly you can also have the price tag here. Once you're done and once you set your campaign live on this specific page, to whoever comes on your page and has a product added to cart, I have this product added to cart, which is why on your catalog page you were able to see, instead of offer of the day banner, you were able to see the product added to cart. Perfect. Now, coming from added to cart to the membership test. Now, what we said for membership and loyalty was to be able to show two different sets of banners which communicate two different sets of messages for a for a person who has a membership versus for a person who does not have a membership. What I've done here is something very, very similar. I've selected, after you select your audience, come into where. Now, what I've done for membership is I've selected my offers page here. So if I go onto my website and I go onto my offers page, you can see I have multiple offers and deals here. But what happens here is, let's quickly rewind. It says launching to Beauty Studio, but it changes to welcome to Beauty Studio. Now, since I am a gold member, what I see on the platform is welcome to Beauty Studio. But what other non gold members would see would be something like launching to Beauty Studio. Now, how I've done this is, again, I'll quickly go into the messaging and show you how to achieve that. I've just put in a very, very simple code which says that if I am a gold member, then you show me this banner which says welcome to Beauty Studio. Versus if I am a if I'm not a gold member, then show the default banner which is launching Beauty Studio and asking you to sign up to get access to this membership. Moving on to the last use case that we have, which is recommendation. Now, very similar to what we've been doing so far with first name, with abandoned cart, what we've done for recommendation is after you select the audience, you select your when and where. I'll show you how I've done the recommendation bit on the website. Now, let's say you're on the home page, and for example purposes, this recommendation I am running on products added to cart, let's say. So if I'm on my home page and I scroll down, you can see the recommended for you banner changes to these recommended products that you have. Now, what's happening here is what I've created in my campaign here. I have selected my recommendation banner as my property. I have selected replace the property, which is why the earlier products that you were able to see here will get replaced with the recommended products. After selecting when to show and the other details, I go on to message, and I've put in a very simple CSS that follows the recommendation model that we also covered in the campaign personalization. Now, this recommendation, like I said, is running on added to cart. So, based on whatever you have added to cart, you will be able to view similar recommended products here. Now, since this is a demo that we're showing you, which is why we've quickly shown you how this would work, but the products would definitely change as per your business, as per your website. Right. So once you've selected the recommendation banner, your products for you again changes from these products to the specific products that are specifically recommended for a user based on whatever you have added to cart. Now, this event can be anything from added to cart to product purchased and so on. For example, if you want to show recommendations based on what products or what was the latest product that the user has purchased, you can do something very similar here. Great. I would want to come back at this point to the presentation and just quickly review of what we did. We understood why it's important for you to do web personalization. We understood how you can implement web personalization using the three P's, which is profiling, positioning, and performance. Then we went on to discuss some use cases and how you can implement those use cases on your Web Engage dashboard. With this, we've come to the end of the presentation. And at this point, if you have any questions, feel free to ask those questions in the comment section, and I'll be addressing your questions. Allow me to quickly get out of this environment. We have a question which says, what are some of the best practices relating to creating web personalization? I understand the feature is very good for call to action, but how do we ensure that this feature does not disrupt the user experience in a negative way? Okay, so it does not impact your user experience in any negative way. What you have to be mindful of is the messaging that you're showing and the audience that you're showing this messaging to. So, for example, if you have your website as it is, you can keep it as it is. What we're doing with web personalization is based on a specific action that the user must have taken, or a specific like or dislike that the user must have shown. You're customizing or you're personalizing that user's experience on your website. What highly, again, I'm repeating, what's highly important here is that you select your audience well. If you've selected your audience to be shown on the basis of products that they've added to cart but have not gone ahead with, so be mindful of the action that you've selected as your target segment, the message that you're showing it to those users, and be mindful of what property placement you've picked on your website. So it's also very important that if you've picked the hero banner, make sure that you are conveying a message which is relevant to the audience that you've selected, and don't forget to add a fallback. Because what happens is, in case a user is new to your platform or has not done an add to cart event yet, they should be able to see some fallback value. Now, web personalization again is a very, very important tool. It helps you personalize your experience, which is why you need to at least do some tests, which the Web Engage support team is happy to help you with. You can therefore do some tests and see how web personalization is working for you. Once again, since it's a very, very powerful tool, I encourage all of you to at least give it a try once and understand how it's working, how it's impacting your business. Because web personalization, like all the big brands are doing, like Amazon and Netflix, is the future, and you cannot avoid it any longer. I hope that answers your question. We have another question that says, can we understand the integration requirements timelines? Okay, so the integration is very, very simple here. Timelines would be very short here. What you need to do, the basics that I went through were, you need to set your property, or you need to define your property in advance. Once you've defined what your property is, then you can quickly create these web personalization campaigns within a couple of minutes. With what you need to do with creating your property is, allow me to share my screen and show you how you can go ahead and do that. Right. So coming back to this web personalization page that we're on. Now, let's say I'm on this website and you want to select a property. Let's say you want to replace this hero banner for a new collection that you're launching, perhaps. What you need to do here at this point is, on your website, just quickly click on inspect and select this property. So once you do that, Let's say this is the property that I want to replace. Once you do that, you click on copy and you copy the selector. Now, this might seem a little technical at first, but it's very, very easy to incorporate. You can also take some help from our support team and we'll guide you. Once you click on copy selector, go on go on to your web personalization dashboard. Whatever test you're working on, you can quickly come here, click on plus, and give your property a name and put in your CSS selector, which is the code we copied. I hope that answers your question, but in case you have more questions, you can definitely reach out to us and we'll help you. Another question that we have here is for the product recommendation, how is the data fed to the system via custom events and will it be passed through variables? In that case, a maximum of 25 products can be added, right? Okay, so with the recommendation model right now, yes, the data that will be fed into the system will be something that our team would handle at our end. So you don't really need to be worried about how the data is going into the system. What you need to help us with is understand what custom events you want that recommendation on. For example, in this webinar, I chose my recommendation to be shown on the custom event of added to cart. Once you help us specify or identify that, we'll help you set everything up. For recommendation right now, we can show you or we can give you a daily recommendation of up to five products. But then again, we would definitely look into each case that you bring on to us, and we'll help you and guide you with what's the best possible way for you to go about creating your campaigns here. At this point, if you have any more questions, just feel free to put your questions in the comment box and I will guide you or I'll help you understand how you can implement web personalization in your campaigns better. Um, Once again, thank you all for joining this session. Web personalization is a very, very important tool, and I encourage all of you to just give it a try once, understand how it's working for you, because there's a lot that can be explored with web personalization. And the best part of web personalization is that you don't interrupt the user experience on your website by showing an overlay or a banner. What you do is you create a very seamless experience in which the user does not see an overlay or a banner. The message that you're trying to show gets incorporated within the website. So as and when your user is scrolling through your website, they'll be able to see the banner or the web personalization message that you want to communicate. Again, this is without interfering or without showing them pop-ups or overlays on your website, which creates a very seamless and a good user experience. Perfect. At this point, if there are any more questions, just add them to your comment section here, or you can reach out to me or anyone from your WebEngage team or support to help you out on any web personalization doubts that you might have. Thank you, everybody, for joining this broadcast.